Acceptance of other countries should be the fundamental goal of any foreign policy. The principle can be traced back to texts as old as Arthashastra by Chanakya. Balancing various interests is a short method to ensure that a country ends up being in the good books of both aggressors and pacifists of the bunch. Namaste and welcome to TFI English, the national socio-political analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Piyush, and if you're watching us on Facebook, give our page a like. And if you're watching us on YouTube, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Going back to the story, in this video, I'm here to tell you how India is becoming the ultimate beneficiary of the Ukraine-Russia skirmish. Let's begin. Poland has become the latest fan of India's foreign policy. Adam Burakowski, the Polish ambassador to India, has said that by virtue of being a peaceful country, India can stabilize the current global order. Poland believes that India will help the anti-Russian bloc in enlarging the cost of war for Russia. In the same breath, the Polish ambassador also said that India can talk to Russia and communicate to them that war has more costs than benefits. The ambassador became one of the few Western spokespersons who fall on the anti-Russia bloc to state that India's foreign policy is neutral. Stating the reasons for pitching India as a dialogue enabler in the crisis, the ambassador said, India has a dialogue with other countries. There is a need for a dialogue, and since India has this special relationship with Russia, why not? The Polish ambassador just articulated the implicit understanding shared by every country registered under the United Nations. Ever since the first Russian troop landed on the Ukrainian soil, every country has been standing on one end of the spectrum or the other. While in spite of having massive dependability on Russian oil and gas, US and Europe decided to run a sanctioned regime. Countries all around the world were given only two choices. Either they had to be pro-Russia or explicitly denounce Putin. Without caring for their population, the whole of the West rallied behind the US. On the other hand, India was a bit skeptical of their stand. The Modi government had already witnessed a disaster called the Afghan evacuation. Taliban ended up being in power, increasing our headaches regarding Kashmir. India did not want more problems. On the other hand, India did not want to fall under sanction radar either. So it chose a policy of strategic neutrality. India decided to stay overtly neutral on the narratives around the war. When the United Nations gave two choices to countries, India abstained from voting. India said that neither it is pro-Russia nor it is pro-Ukraine. The move drew appreciation from Russia. Though Ukraine did not explicitly make such gestures, Zelensky's call to PM Modi communicated what the world leaders needed to know. On the other end of the conflict, India started to avail cheaper products from Russia with crude oil dominating the basket. When Western countries accused India of funding the war, they were given a thorough and factual rebuttal by our Foreign Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. Meanwhile, neutrality helped the Indians stuck in Ukraine. Indian students facing the fear of ultimate destination were one of the few nationals to escape Ukraine. In fact, Poland became one of the gateways through which Indians got a sign of relief. Out of 22,000 students evacuating the country, 6,000 of them took shelter in Polish safe zones and later landed in India. Now that the war is stuck for many months, causing more catastrophic damages, Western nations have realized the importance of dialogue, something which India has reiterated since the war kicked off. Their Putin is bad narrative is slowly going down as Zelensky is also turning out to be no saint either. Maybe West has started to realize that a comedian turned president is the wrong guy to support. They do not have many options left. They can't ask China for help. Ultimately, India is the only credible nation that can ask both parties to compromise a bit.